Today I wanted to talk about one other aspect of demonetization, that is the kind of technology that the government is promoting. Many commentators have alleged that government is promoting mobile wallets such as Paytm, uh, whereas actually if you look at the government press releases and if you really look at what is happening, is that the government is doing something really spectacular. Now, this is not to say that it is not it deserves full marks, because the implementation is in process. It's not there are some hiccups there, but let me briefly talk about two of the things that they are trying to do. One, the mobile payments system that they are talking about is called the Unified Payment Interface, called UPI. Now, UPI is basically for smartphones which have Android or iPhone or things like that. There is for feature phones or your normal phone, they have something called the USSD. Now, this works entirely on SMS. It's like checking your prepaid card balance. It's similar to that, and what it does is it allows a feature phone to be used to transfer money between two people. Now, this USSD is available in about 12 or 15 languages, and you can transact in that, and then you need some amount of technological know-how. You need to know your bank numbers, but once you've learned the process and you've sort of understood what is the that you need, how many messages, how many steps, it's a bit tedious, but it's okay, it's doable if that's the only thing you're going to do. It's not as user friendly as it looks. I'll share a link to the article which explains how USSD transactions takes place. But most of you who are watching this video will be using UPI. Now, UPI is a system that is embedded in the mobile apps of almost all banks. I'm saying almost because some cooperative banks and all are not included in this, but most nationalized banks are included. So you can download your bank's app and use the UPI interface. Not your bank's mobile app also has a wallet kind of interface sometimes. Not that. You have to use the UPI interface. Now, the benefit of this is that now let me tell you a brief about wallets. Wallets tend to accumulate or store some amount of money in some layer. Now, that layer gets exhausted and you have to refill it with a card or with an account, and then you can spend. Now, UPI does away with all this intermediate layer. It gives you a direct access to your account. So if you really dumb it down, wallet is like a credit card and UPI is like a debit card. So you have direct access to the account. Whatever is in account, you can that's your limit, but per transaction there is a limit. But what is important with UPI is that because it's a two-factor based a two-factor authentication based system, it's quite secure. It's not, no system in the world is completely secure. So if you have been watching, you might have seen a report from Qualcomm saying that none of the apps in India are secure. That's predominantly they're talking about hardware security. Hardware level security is available nowhere in the world. Now, you can like HDFC and some other banks, IDFC I think, they do give a hardware authentication. So fingerprint based authentication is available, but it is not standard on any mobile. It's here to put gadgets onto your mobile. It's a little more cumbersome, but two-factor, which is the de facto standard of the world, is accepted on that UPI network. Now, let me tell you about shortly what beautiful thing that government is doing. So instead of moving this whole cash-based economy on cards and from cards, then moving them from cards onto online banking. What we are, and then from there on to mobile banking, we are sort of leapfrogging all these intermediate steps. We are going directly to mobile banking, and secondly, there are no charges on this. So UPI, whatever is the charge of UPI that's there, if you use Paytm or whatever wallet, then the wallets use a charge, or they levy a fee for you to transfer the money back into your account. So if you are transferring the money back to your account, PayPal or Paytm or things like that, they might levy some charges. Currently they might be waived, but there are charges. For UPI, that's not the charge. The charge is a transaction fee. As of now, whatever is the mobile, whatever is the data charge you will incur, and whatever the charges will be UPI. There will be no transfer account, something like that. The money will be in your account. It will earn whatever interest it has to be earning. So that's a little more sophisticated. It's leapfrogging the wallet system. If UPI catches on, then probably we don't need to go into the mobile wallet business at all. So that is one aspect. The second aspect is, what I want the government to do is to create more USSD based machines, like you have the credit card swipe machines, something like that, for USSD and UPI kind of vendors who accept UPI and USSD payments. For them, use a mobile phone, you put some additional things, and then or some mechanism from which they can initiate a transaction, and then make it easy for the party who's using a UPI or USSD to sort of pay. So once that is there, then probably like I like the idea of Paytm having a sort of a code, QR code that helps you sort of scan their number, and that's a good idea. But not feature phones won't be able to capture that. So you need to have some technique so that the person who wants to pay can pay, or something can pay without having to go through all those steps. Make it more simpler. Make it 5. I counted more than 5 SMSs or 5 interaction points. Now that's a bit too much. I think if you can do it with 3, probably that's a better thing. Or you can do a transaction. So what is the amount, and then the person can enter the amount. If you ask him to sort of, at least for me, if you ask me to say write some code like ICI, then you give space and then the account number, then it becomes too much. Instead of that, you say write ICI, and then it goes to ICI, and then it creates a back and forth. It's like a chat on SMS. That's much easier, I think. Up to the government. Let's see. But if we do that, we'll leapfrog the whole technological banking system in the world. We'll be the first, and in this scale, we'll be the best. We'll be not the best, but we'll be the largest economy to do it, and probably we'll usher in a new era of mobile banking. Thank you.